Here we have a Benz key fob that came in for repair. This one looks like it's a fob that was bought off Amazon and programmed for the vehicle. We do not see the Benz logo in the middle. If you look at an original Benz key fob, it looks something like this with the Benz logo in the middle. And this one is the triangular panic button. Now the problem with this fob is we do not have any donors because this is a third party or a non-OEM fob. We do not have any parts for this fob. We have every Benz key fob. We have a donor for every Benz key fob in the shop here, but this one, we do not have anything similar. I went to Amazon and I was trying to see if we can find a similar board that we can buy so we can fix this one, but I could not find a fob with the same circuit board layout. You see how the fob has this tiny square chip on the board? That's the firmware chip. And that's about it. The back, no components, or we have one component, some type of power IC on the back here. We have an inductor, the coil, the infrared component, one infrared component front of the board, also right here. We have the buttons, the panic button, lock button, trunk button, and unlock button. That's it. That's the board. I mean, how hard can it be to fix this board, right? I do not see anything obvious on the board. All components look good, but the fob is not working. Now, I already went over this fob, and I'll tell you what I found out, so I do not waste your time. I checked the voltage on the battery. It's good. Let me put the battery in. And what I did also is I changed that piece for the battery as well. And that's not the problem. I thought it was, but it's not the problem. Let me put it back. I mean, that's what happens when you buy a non-original OEM and you program it for your car. The key is built very cheap. You would not see this issue on the original key fob, where that metal piece is loose. Let me put it back so I can show you what's going on. Okay, maybe I can show you under the microscope so you can see what I'm doing. So that's the metal piece right here. It's seated in place. Battery goes from the back, but right now, as soon as I put the battery in, that metal piece is gonna go loose, but that's not the problem. Let me put the motherboard on here so we do not lose that metal piece when we put the battery in. I'm gonna hold the board with my finger. And now I'm gonna insert the battery from the back. And we're gonna see. Look, if I press on any one of the buttons, we do not see a light on that fob. But watch what I figured out. Something really strange. If I press on that firmware chip, I do get a light. If I press on that chip, where is it? Right here. I'm gonna press on that chip, and now I'm gonna press on unlock. You see? We see a light now. If I remove my finger of that firmware chip and I press on the button, we do not see a light anymore. That's what I discovered. A lot of back and forth until I came to this conclusion, and I'm saving you all the time so we do not make this a 1-hour video, because it did take me a long time to figure out that by pressing on that chip, the fob works. Genius, right? What can I say? So this chip here, right there. When I press on it, the fob works. So my guess is we have some loose connection. Maybe we have a loose pin that's not making a good connection with the pad on the board. And when I press it, it makes a connection again. That's what I'm thinking. Let's go ahead and resolder this chip. Maybe we can try by reflowing first If that doesn't work, then we're gonna have to remove the whole chip and resolder it. Maybe I can go over this with my soldering iron and NF Mini, and then I can reflow. I'm almost 99% positive that this will fix the problem, but I could be wrong. Now soldering may not be good enough, so we will have to reflow as well, because that's a QFN chip. It's not pins that we can solder. It's pads on the chip that will make a connection with pads on the board, not pins on the chip and pads on the board. Okay, so I'm using NF Mini. Now we're gonna reflow, but we're gonna have to pay attention not to burn or melt the buttons that you see here. Those are plastic. I'm gonna put a small nozzle. We're gonna go down on airspeed and also temperature. Airspeed probably 30% down, and temperature we're gonna go about probably 400 or 380. Beautiful. We squeeze the living guts out of every pin or every pad. So now we can be 100% sure that those pads are making a connection. Right? We're gonna clean up. Now, in the meantime, before we test the fob, I just want to quickly show you this video card we got in yesterday. The card is not working. It's a gigabyte, I forgot, maybe 3070, 3060. I measured all voltage rails on the card. Everything tested good except for the 1.8 volt line. It was measuring 0.3 instead of 1.8. I looked around and I found this, a lot of missing components. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably 7, 8 missing components. I do not have any schematics or board view diagrams for this card. If anyone out there know what those components are and the values, let me know, leave it down in the comments. Or if you have any schematics or board view diagrams, leave a link. I'll let you know what this card is. Let me look up the ticket number quick. 119670. Gigabyte RTX 4070 WindForce 12 GB OC. I need to know the values for those components. I do not have any donors. Let me put this on the side. We also have another EVGA, I think 3090, that came in for repair, and this one has a 12 volt short right here. The last similar card we worked on, we had a short circuit on the fuse back of the board. Exactly the same card, but this one is different. This one we have a 12 volt short. All right, so let's go ahead and test. Are we gonna get a light without having to put pressure on that chip? I'm just holding the battery from the back. Yes, yes. Look at this. Now the chip is right in the middle. I'm not gonna put any pressure on the chip. I'm gonna press on the button and the light, the fob is working. I do have a fob tester here to test for frequency and IR, and I'm gonna use it to make sure the fob is working properly. So if I press on the button, perfect. Okay, so we should see two lights. You know what, let me put the fob back together because it's gonna be hard to test while that fob is in 6 million pieces. Okay, so the fob is not locking. And all because of this battery metal piece that keeps falling off. See, look at this. If I squeeze from here, it's gonna pop up from here. I squeeze from here, it's gonna pop up from here. So we have to find the balance to put that motherboard in, close it. And once closed, then it's good. Now I tried the original shell. I tried to replace the shell for the customer, but this board does not fit the original shell because of the inductor or because of the coil that you see on the back here. Original key fobs do not have the coil on the back. That's the original, nothing on the back, and the coil is in the front, along with the big coil in the middle. But this one is different. So we cannot use the original shell. I mean, it took me 2 minutes to fix the fob and 10 minutes to put the fob back together. Okay, so now I close the fob. Let's go ahead and use our fob tester, and we should see two lights. The green light and the light that you see on top, the white one. One of them is for the frequency and the other one for the infrared signal. If we press, we're gonna have to power it on first. You see? The green light and the top light. If I press on the power button, same thing. If I press on the panic button, okay? We need to press and hold the panic button. See? And if we press the trunk button, we also have to press and hold. We see the green and the white light. The fob is fixed. And I really got lucky on this one. I figured out that the problem was this firmware chip. We resoldered, reflowed the chip, and the fob is working. We're gonna invoice and mail this back to the customer. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Leave it down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll do something else in the next video. We still have to put the side metal pieces. Okay. Same with this. Use it like a hammer. Okay. They are 100% in right now. And of course, we cannot forget the blade. We're done.